First of all, my congratulations to the other honorees, to their families. This is a wonderful institution that the Hall of Famers and the board has put together. So thank you all for capturing the story, and welcome to the new group on the list. My story is about crazy risks and adopted country and cultures. As I finished studies at the radical and fearless University of California, Berkeley, my world expanded beyond geology and forestry. A coffee date led to an invitation to study in Sweden. And 2 years later, my Swedish skill led to a Portland dinner with a Swedish engineer who was the guest of the visiting Secretary of the Interior, Walter J. Hickel. At the time, I was the face of the 1970s Unconference on the Environment, right after the first Earth Day, where Oregon's industry leaders met with college activists to talk honestly and to hear each other's environmental concerns. That dinner connection led to a shocking wedding proposal from Secretary Hickel's speechwriter, Malcolm Roberts. My list of the ideal man matched this guy. And Malcolm and I arrived in Anchorage in January of 1971 as storybook newlyweds. I was happily married and happy to be back in the Arctic. And soon being pregnant did not hold me back from the risk of taking a modeling class. I was comfortable in front of the camera, and my business grew as both a model and as a fashion photographer. 6 years later, amazing photographs of other models were my talent and helped me represent Alaska at the Mrs. America pageant. Trading the risk of 5 minutes in a swimsuit in high heels resulted in a 2-week vacation and surprising doors that opened. 1978 became a year of media, of public speaking, and thought generating about 2 career American families. The 1980s were a power mix of family of 5, camera work, a number of political campaigns for both Mr. Hickel and for Malcolm, and the founding of the legendary forum, Commonwealth North. And by 1990, we had 3 active athletes in the family and lots of school events and soccer games. That fall, our eldest left for college, and Malcolm and I were citizen ambassadors to Khabarovsk, Russia. We returned in time for Hickel's election as Alaska's 8th governor, and both Malcolm and I became part of the new administration in Juneau. I worked with commissioners of both natural resources and commerce during those years when forestry and geology again appeared in my life. After Juneau, Malcolm and I worked with the leaders of the Anchorage's international communities through an organization called Bridge Builders. A bit later, my best government assignment was to represent the state on the forward-thinking Denali Commission. I got to manage a $3 million agriculture grant program that helped villages and organizations solve their trash challenges and care for their traditional lands and water. By 2007, Alaska was determined to build a natural gas pipeline and take this resource to the global market. The vocabulary was new for everyone, but I'd heard it for years, and I wrote a glossary called Cracking the Code, a citizen's guide to the Alaska natural gas pipeline discussion. Its intent still is to help all Alaskans understand the possible role Alaska can play in global clean energy. At the suggestion of our youngest family member, Malcolm and I wrote our memoir, Magic Moments, Battles Worth Fighting, and Joys Worth Celebrating. The world we have invested in and enjoyed is a blend of public policy, of potlatches, and celebrations across the Arctic and as far south as Johannesburg. Our thanks to our next generation, Cheyenne, Brett, and Alexis, who enjoyed the ride as they grew up, and now they contribute in their own artistic and personal ways. Also, our thanks to our honorary adoptees, Mead, Kevin, Kima, and Lena, for adding so much to our family. And finally, my thanks to the Women's Hall of Fame board and co-honorees for being sure these stories are kept to entertain and inspire risk-taking and positive action by our future Alaskan women and men. So thank you all very much. My best wishes to all.